Ladies and gentlemen, here is the project. 1973 Duster. Plymouth for the layman. Duster. I believe it's a space Duster in 73. Picked up this car from Randy. It's been in his family for decades. Used to be his father's drag car. They bought it down in Iowa down in 75 and spent a lot of its life at the track. Randy did a lot of the body work on it. Has a little bit of metal work here and there. Front corner's been repaired. Rocker. Door needs a little bit of work. Not terrible. A little bit. This back quarter has all been replaced, and same with the other side. And I know it's just in primer, but it needs to be blocked out still. But gee whiz, what a fantastic job of putting that in. He gave it to me like an adult Legos kit. I got just about everything a guy needs to put it all together. Only it's all in the trunk and in the car, and you see here there's no motor in it, but I ended up with two of those. You can see he was nice enough to leave the one header in, because any A-body knows, anybody in the A-body world knows that problem. So I'm kind of glad he left that in there. Saved me a little bit of time and headache. Hooker headers, they look in great shape. All this looks in great shape. You see that they were reworking the radiator support. There was a older support that was here that he was reworking. His radiator set into this space rather than inside of it, because the original motor was a 340 supercharged, so they needed room for that pulley. You can only imagine what that car sounded like. I bet it was absolutely ridiculous. Awesome. It's got centerline tires, newish tires in the back. Those are day code 2020s. Front ones are a little older, but disc brakes in the front. It's all been sandblasted and ready for prime, essentially. It's in decent shape. I mean, it's a 50-year-old car now. Tires are just awesome. There's no other word. 10-inch wide, 275, 60, 15 Mickey Thompsons. Street. 8 3/4 rear end, which most of these, if I'm mistaken, I believe they were an 8 1/4 rear end. So this is out of an earlier car. They shortened the axle, tubbed it. You can see those have been moved in. Leaf springs, here's a better shot of it. Normally that leaf spring would mount to the outside of that frame rail towards the tire, and that was moved in to accommodate that ridiculous tire. Randy told me that his dad did not believe in traction bars or a 4-link. Instead, you can see there's an extra brace at the bottom of the diff. That was all you needed to stop that axle from twisting, supposedly. That was the old school way of doing it. Has 11-inch drums in the back, which are oversized. He did mention that this rear lug is not the standard 5 by 4.5 Mopar lug. The front is. back is not. The back is 4 3/4, if I remember correctly. A Chevy bolt pattern for a Chevelle, supposedly, to get these tires to fit. I don't know if they just didn't come in a Mopar lug pattern or what, but that's what he told me. Interior's not terrible. Of course, it's got the standard bench seat. You got another third member over there. That is a 489 case, but with 276 gears in it. No windshield. But that's sitting right there, so that's cool. Hood scoop for the hood that's strapped underneath the car to get it here. Because we couldn't put it on because it has no hood latch because of that radiator rework. So we'll probably end up going hood pins. But you can see there's just a pile of stuff in the car. Ice cream pails and buckets and there's some, those might be the sail panels actually for these back corners. It's kind of nice. Bench seat will probably go, we'll probably opt out for a couple of bucket seats. Could use some patchwork on the floors. That side's got a little bit of light showing through, not terrible, but this side is not great. Power brakes, so that's cool. There's one of the bumpers. I think that's the front bumper. You can see the wheel well, the tub. Got the front bumper there. Whole bunch of goodies in the back. Fuel cell, aluminum radiator with a electric fan. All the trim and moldings. Even got a Hurst shifter for it, floor shift, with the appropriate cable for a 727 trans. Headlight bezels, trans mounts, the other header, headlights. Oh, there's the tail light. Oh, there's new shocks. He mentioned that he had some shocks for it. Oh, there's the other sail panel. Nice. There's a whole pile of electrical work though, and I'm super thankful that it's just all of it that has to be done. That's my least favorite thing to do, but I do see that he was nice enough and left relays and stuff like that connected, so it kind of will just go back together, probably with not too much effort. Here's your main wall plugs. So hopefully all the tail lights work and we can put it back into a street car. Maybe a drag car too. Street drag, we'll see. One of my favorite things about the car, right there. Disconnect. So that's really cool. That'll probably end up just staying on the car just for nostalgia's sake. He said it was originally a 340 car. It's pretty clean. A little bit of rust here and there, but really not bad for what I've seen on other cars in Minnesota here. They just eat the cars alive. But like I said, it was originally a 340 car, or that's what he had it as. It was probably a slant 6 and back in 73. Maybe it was a 318, but I got two 360s to choose from to put in it. I got a Magnum 360 and an LA 360. And a 727 to go behind either one. So we'll have to make a decision there. What do you guys think? Stay period correct and put the 360 in it. Period-ish correct, the LA. Or do we go the newer school Magnum, since supposedly they put a little more horsepower. I don't know. I kind of lean towards the LA. The Magnum's got the roller rockers, and the LA's got the flat tappet. Probably carburet both of them, or either of them. I thought he had mentioned two. Yeah, there they are. Motor mounts for a 360 for an A-body. Also. So it is a giant set of Legos with no instructions. And I am not a body guy. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a construction guy by trade. But we're going to dabble in this world a little bit, I guess, and try to make our way through it. Windows all work. This body panel's been repaired. Again, just what a great job. You can actually see this one pretty well. The panel that got repaired in there. I hate even the looks of that. Oh my gosh. It looks terrible. But we got that Duster. And we have that Duster. And of course the Belvedere. The daily driver. You might be asking yourself, why is there a third member in the car? There is one underneath the car. Well, the gears that are in this car, that's a 489 case as well, but it is a 586 gear in that rear end. So I think it last ran 8th mile drag, hence the gearing there. So we'll probably change that out, because I can't imagine even trying to drive it on the street with that set of gears. Got some work ahead of us, but let me know what you guys think. 360 LA, 360 Magnum. What do we do? What color? Randy had always, I think he mentioned that he was planning to do it white with, of course, the black stripe that goes down the body line. Put 360 maybe below it, just for fun. I mean, that green looks really nice. That one needs some work too. That's my buddy's car. That is probably going to the body shop soon to repair a rear quarter. But do we try to just turn it into the street car again? Gonna have to put some new tires on the front, but we're keeping the rims. I don't even know if 360 will spin that tire. Maybe. Oh, that's a big tire. tire. Looks mean though. I mean, tell me that doesn't look good. I don't know. Maybe white? Maybe orange? Can't do green because I think Gavin's gonna keep his green. Original color was that dark bronze. You can see how good the paint was still in the hood or under the trunk. I don't know. Well, stay tuned for all the shenanigans of putting this thing back together and seeing the road again one day. Maybe even the drag strip again one day. Maybe we just do a 408 stroker. Maybe we've got enough rear end for it. I mean, yeah, just piece upon piece upon pieces. We got drive shafts. We've got transmissions. We've got engines. Radiators. Trim pieces. Buckets of screws. Oh my gosh. I don't even... I mean, I guess they're probably for something. Let's say cars. Well, that's good. 8. Used to say 6. Now it's 8. The only instructions I got for the shifter, which is great. At least I got something. At least I have some instructions. We're gonna wade through the mud on this one, and you know, we'll see. I'll maybe post the Belvedere. That was a car that was going to the scrapyard in January of this year, and we took it to this point. Just has a little 318 in it, and you know it, Vice Grip Garage. How many guys has he motivated to do things like this? I know I'm one of them. That, you know what? I'll never probably have the $60,000 classic car. That's okay. I'll get the cheaper one and I'm gonna have just as much fun. Put new carpet in this one. All these seats were original with the car. Headliner's a little sad. But it just has a 318, but it's got an 833 4-speed with, yeah, nice Hurst shifter. I'm sure somebody will notice that these are not the correct spacing for a GTX hood scoop. And yes, they are a GTX hood scoop. We moved them in so that we weren't trying to, you know, we're making it our own. We painted this in the shop. Boy, she's a little dusty right now. That's okay. It's a great car. There's a lot of work to get this one back on the road too. This one needed a bunch of framework. Just a nice running 318. This one hadn't run since 1987. It was the last time this car was on the road. And it's back on the road, so that's awesome. Anyways, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, do all those things. I don't know. I'm not doing it for anything more than to document the process, because I didn't do it on the last one. So hopefully we can take the torch from Randy and bring it back to its glory. The 1973 Space Duster.